Folks, are you praying? Are you stressing? Are you nervous? Are you worried? Are you excited? Are you about glad these political commercials are over? Are you tired of the news and the politics? I'm not. I am a little sick of the commercials, though. But I am glad to see Trump still putting out bangers. I got a couple of bangers for you today, uh, otherwise known as campaign ads. But more than that, we got some great news. The elections shenanigans are still going on, but not on the scale that they want to make them happen in order to cheat across the whole United States like they did the last time. Matter of fact, because of Twitter, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Elon Musk, um, the cheating is being caught in real time, being handled upon with lawsuits from the RNC and Stephen Miller and some of these attorney generals in real time, just like that, and getting appeal court judgments, getting Supreme Court um, rulings, and so many other things in the last 2 weeks. I cannot believe finally the courts are actually back and transparent and only legal vote elections. That's awesome. If we could just get the voter ID thing going in every state, we'd have it from now on. But truth be known, I cannot say it has been a great week as far as the election shenanigans go, but it's been a great deal of exposure and a great deal of setback for the Democrats because they're getting caught. Twitter has caught them every day. There's been a citizen journalist coming out, if not one, there's 10 every day with every state, every city, every county that's having issues, putting it on blast over here on Twitter for people like me to put it over here on YouTube so the whole world can find out just what they're trying to do. That way they can't get away with it. You catch them on the front side when the final results come in, and it ends up being a screw, and it ends up being a screwy situation. We can always go back, look at the Twitter, say, okay, Stephen Ritter had been warned way back when, been told what he needs to do about the 218,000 questionable votes. Was not going to do anything because he's a rhino. Well, as of today in Maricopa County, we got a little bit of resolution. And that's just one of the many, many pieces of information involving elections. We've been going back and forth with rulings from Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Arizona. Of course, three of the swing states they want to steal. That's why all these shenanigans are happening, especially in Pennsylvania. But it's being caught in real time, and we're actually getting some resolution from the courts, appeals court, Supreme Court. They're not getting away with it like they were last time, and I'm glad to see it. I think the writing is on the wall. The Democrats are going to lose. Don't stop praying, folks, and make sure you vote if you haven't voted already. Some people hold out till election day. As many as 25% of the Republican Party holds out till election day. And if that's what's really going on from what I've seen with the other polls, we're going to tear them up tomorrow. It's going to be, since we're neck and neck in all these states already, what happens tomorrow will be over the top. We'll get over the top and hopefully too big to rig, as we like to say. But I've got several things I want to read to y'all today. A couple of banger ads and a couple of things that I thought everybody needs to hear, including the guy that had a woman try to take his hat away from him. This type of hat right here didn't work out too well for the woman, but the guy was a lot nicer than I would have been, and maybe there's a lesson in there for you or for myself as well. But this turnout is down 238,000 votes compared to this point as well. So we got a little bit of a schematic here of what's going on. The countryside is turning more red, while the big cities are shrinking in their numbers with the blue. I love it. I love it. It's happening in every state. That's the thing that makes me think that Trump is going to win most, if not all, the swing states. I don't think Kamala can win. I don't see the algorithm, the formula that puts her over the top. It's definitely not going to happen on the popular vote. I think the illegal vote will help her a little bit, but because there's so many people paying attention to this election, she's not doing too well with that either. They're being rejected in so many states. Now, we do have one little problem with the voter turnout that I wanted to bring to y'all's attention. I didn't know this, but approximately 10 million men vote less out of all the people that vote in these every 4 year elections. Approximately 10 million men less voters than female voters. Not good. Why are the women getting out to vote more than the men? I didn't figure it would go that way. I had no clue, but it's obviously the man's fault if we lose this election. So any of my bros out there that haven't voted yet, you better get up and vote tomorrow. We can't lose because y'all didn't do your part. Come on now. Now let's listen to this girl right here. She's got a good point, and it just basically corroborates what I'm saying.
Boys, tomorrow is election day, and us ladies need you to get off your ass and vote for Donald Trump. Apparently, men vote at a much lower rate than women. In fact, of the votes cast thus far, 53% have been women, while only 44% have been men. Moreover, the CEO of Atlas Intel, the most accurate pollster of 2020, says that if white males turn out for Donald Trump on election day, he would win Pennsylvania as well as potentially the rest of the Rust Belt states. This would make the difference between Donald Trump winning or losing the election. So, boys, don't be complacent. This is the most important election in history, and the fate of our democracy is literally in your hands. We need you on November 5th. Don't stay home. Go out and vote. Bring your brothers, bring your male friends, bring your dad, or make sure they have a plan to vote for Donald Trump. Tell all the men in your life that Western civilization is counting on them. Boys,
That's right.
tomorrow is election day, and us.
That's right, folks. If we lose this election by a few thousand votes in this state or that state, it'll be shenanigans. But if we lose this election because men don't turn out, I just don't understand. I've seen too many big trucks with MAGA flags. I know right at half of my listeners are men. So I think the patriotism in this country is equally dispersed between men and women who should vote for Donald Trump. But the fact of the matter is, will the men, some of the men, take the extra effort after they get off work to spend that extra hour to go down to your local church or wherever the polling place is and actually make your mark? Hopefully, tomorrow is the day that we don't just win, but we win by such big numbers that they don't get to complain and try to pick it apart and take 3 months to contest elections. It's got to be too big to rig, folks. No doubt about it. Now, this here is I thought was a very cool picture. This is the Millers, Jason Miller and Stephen Miller, two of the great um, political advisors for the MAGA party. Whether you know these guys or not, both of these. This is America First Legal, Stephen Miller, and this here is Jason Miller. They're both the brains behind a lot of Trump's great policies. Whether you know it or not, these are some of the top political advisors for Trump's campaign, and they're both saying we're headed to the next rally. Well, on our way. I love to see it. I love to see the energy in the party right now, considering we got Tulsi Gabbard and RFK and hopefully Tucker and so many people, Elon Musk. The list goes on and on of just great, great patriots we've got that's coalesced onto our team. And some of them used to be Democrats, so I ain't mad because of the fact that they're going to help us win. They're going to help us fix our country. So previous political affiliation means nothing to me. What it's about now is loyalty and love for your country. And I think we've got the best team unity that I've ever seen in the history of politics running for office this time. This ain't just Trump and Vance. This is an entire team that Trump will go in with his transition team this time, and they will be able to do so much more this time than he did last time because he's got the right people in the right place at the right time. They have the smarts and the know how to fight this evil system that we're going to have to take apart with people like Elon Musk with the Doji committee. Now, let's get into a few more things I got for you today, folks. It's definitely wild. I'm a little nerve wracked behind this election. I'm sure glad it's almost over. But you know what's going to happen when we win, don't you? The Trump derangement syndrome is only going to get worse for some people. Some people are not going to be able to handle it. Truth be known, we've all stuck it out almost 4 years, 3 years for myself on this on doing the podcast channel. And I want to thank everybody that stuck around with me, whether you've been here a month or 3 years with me doing the podcast channel thing. I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you for just being here, being a part of the show, caring about your country, and being willing to do the research or listen to the people that are trying to do the research to get the truth out to you. It means so much to me that so many people are motivated and activated, not just to vote, but to get to the truth, get to the bottom of things, and get some justice, some actual prosecution, some of the things that we really need back in this country. I think it's coming, folks, and I think it's only going to happen because so many of us are sick of the 3.5 years, almost 4 years we put up of the Biden regime, and so now they're gonna have to deal with 4 years of a great economy, and they're gonna hate it. The Democrats I'm talking about, because a lot of them are never gonna get over, even if their pocketbook is in better shape than 6 months from now. They're still gonna have that sense of resentment about Donald Trump because they have that Trump derangement syndrome. It's really hard to get over for some people, and I believe it is actually a real medical um, diagnosis at this point. I've seen too many people that are just nuts behind it, just hate Trump behind what the TV told them about him. So I found the definition of Trump derangement syndrome today. So now, long-term mental illness, long-term mental disorder of a type involving a breakdown in relation between thought, emotion, and behavior, leading to faulty perception, inappropriate actions and feelings, withdrawal from reality and personal relationships into fantasy and delusion, and a sense of mental fragmentation. See also screaming in the sky, otherwise known as pouring salty tears. Now, folks, be prepared. We've been watching Salty Tears all week. We've been watching the Democrats panic for about a month, and it's all coming to a head, and we're fixing to win. And then we're going to really see these Mika and Joe in the morning, and all these CNN correspondents are going to say, "We don't know what happened. The numbers were so close. Kamala was tied with Trump last night. We got to check the numbers again." Truth be known, folks, is this race is not that close. They're just playing this "we're almost tied" game, so if they do get away with some shenanigans, they'll say, "Well, it was a close race. Could have went either way." That's the game. But I don't think it's working this time. I don't believe that 70% of the country believes that Kamala's tied with Trump in most swing states, much less most states. It just doesn't seem logical, folks, at this point. But I do want to bring y'all something. In case you forgot, these folks melted down just like this in 2016 when they thought Trump could never win. That was the logic. Hillary Clinton was destined to win. All the polls had her winning. And then when they watched Donald Trump surge over the night, they literally lost their mind. And it was glorious to watch. I remember 2016 so vividly. And here's a little bit of a let's walk down memory lane because tomorrow night it'll be just like this all over again.
Kansas, Nebraska, and Wyoming with its vote, North Dakota and South Dakota, Texas,
up and down the middle of the country, all red.
Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri.
Yes.
It was at 80% an hour ago for Clinton.
What is it now?
68%.
Okay, God damn it, I'm nervous.
Ohio.
Hold.
Hey.
Ohio, gone.
Idaho.
Okay, yeah, I don't see a fucking landslide here. I don't see it at all.
North Carolina.
God damn it, if we need Florida, are you shitting me?
Florida.
It is fucking panic time.
Georgia.
Donald Trump now the favorite to win the presidency.
Iowa.
New York Times now has it at 95% chance.
Utah.
Can still win, but in order to do so, she has to win Wisconsin. God damn it, fuck.
Arizona.
Alaska.
Pennsylvania.
Michigan.
What a night. How did this happen?
I can't stand that guy. He's from the Young Turk. His name is Sink Uger. I didn't really like his language either, but he was just a little having a little salty tears, a little bit of frustration because he didn't want Trump to win in 2016. He'd been talking crap about Trump for the last 8 years, and it's fixing to happen again. I'll be looking for some of his comments tomorrow. Why he's crying in his salty tears. Just thought I'd take y'all down memory lane, folks. Are y'all ready for it again tomorrow? Or maybe even the following day when we find out. Now, the only thing I do have a problem with about this whole election is they're going to take too long to count in certain states, and it just seems ridiculous at this point. There's entire countries that can count their votes in one day, and we've got counties it takes 2 weeks. That doesn't even make any sense, folks. That's just a fact. We know what's going on. But I don't think it's going to be enough this time. Just my hopes, beliefs, and from everything I've seen, been watching, been studying, been doing my research, there's nobody saying that Kamala looks like she's going to win. They're saying at this point, how bad is she going to lose? That's where the news is getting to at this point. They're calling every state a tie just so the Democrats don't panic and just stay home. Now this guy right here, no video with it, but let me read you and tell you what happened here. So walking through a Detroit airport with my Trump hat on, some crazy woman walked by and swiped the hat off my head. I shit you not. Little did she know, a very large Detroit airport cop was literally 10 feet behind her. He immediately threw cuffs on her and asked me if I wanted to press charges. The terror and tears in her eyes was pathetic. I stared at her simply and said, Officer, I believe this action is only partially her fault. You see, she suffers from the illness otherwise known as Trump derangement syndrome. It is characterized by an ill begotten sustained for a former president, perpetuated by a complicit media. She actually thanked me and gave me a hug because the cop didn't. He said, "No, I don't want to press charges on her. She's crazy enough." Did we turn a blue lunatic red? Who knows? But at least she knows there are decent human beings who support Donald Trump. She actually gave the guy a hug after it's all said and done because she was glad she wasn't going to jail. But in reality, her actions of smacking his head off his head, I don't know that I'm that forgiving of a person. Maybe I should be. But I don't go around smacking hats off people's head because of one thing: respect. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. So when you step out of line and put your hands on somebody or destroy their property, I really don't have a whole lot of mercy for you at that point. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. You're in violation. Is all I have to say about that. He did, I guess, did the right thing because in the end, I'm reading his comment section, and he said he had as many as 40 people there that seen the whole thing, and they all got up and clapped and cheered, not just because he didn't send her to jail, but because he was compassionate enough to say, no, not her fault. She's crazy. The media made her that way. I just thought that was really a great story. And maybe there's a lesson there for us all to learn about how to be a little more nice to each other. I haven't learned it yet. I'm nice to everybody I come in contact with, but you go to putting your hands on me, destroying my property, cutting into my life with some heinous act, I just have to give it up to God at that point. I don't know what I'd do. But the guy's probably a better man than I am. I would have probably turned around and thrown a fit. Um, I won't even get into what I would have probably done. But we'll go ahead and get into this right here, folks. I've got a couple things I wanted to bring to y'all about the actual election process going on. It says breaking news from Behizzy, otherwise known as George. It says Maricopa County has confirmed that they received up to 90,000 voter registration forms from the third party group on registration deadline day, and an estimated 30 to 40,000 forms were incomplete or damaged. This is the same company, the same firm that's having problems in Pennsylvania and a couple other states putting these third party ballots in to these polling places. He says, I have a, he says, I have a strong suspicion that this was fraud stopped in its tracks. This is what I think their playbook is. Democrat linked organizations get paid lots of money to collect registration. The goal isn't just to get legitimate voters registrants, but rather to get as many random people signed in as possible. Then they mail in those then they mail those in on deadline day with the expectation that officials will be too busy, swamped, then to check these ballots for dubious names that appear on the voter rolls. They request ballots and then voter fraud occurs. If you get too busy, not checking too closely, some of these may slide through without a double check. That's why they do it at the most opportune time. That's what Behizzy's saying. Says my guess is based on what happened in the 2020 election in Muskegon, Michigan, when the Democrats-funded group dropped off thousands of fake registrations in one day at the clerk's office with the same handwriting, counterfeit signatures, made-up addresses, etc. The FBI is still investigating, aka known as covering it up. The fact that these things are being caught and announced before the election is very good news. I think there's so many people looking at this election from so many different directions with numbers, with polling, with averages, with leftover voters still on the rolls. This will be the most scrutinized election in history by far, folks. I have to believe. I don't think will be as much problem as last time, but I believe it'll be the most scrutinized because the Democrats are going to say you cheated when we kick their ass tomorrow, and that's just a fact, folks. Got one more great video for you. Not trying to make this too long tonight. I just want to tell everybody thank you for showing up. Uh, thanks for putting up with the 4 years of the Biden regime. Thanks for doing your part while we've had to put up with the Biden regime, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, for the Nancy Pelosi's for the last 3.5 years, 4 years. But it's almost over, folks. No worries. It's almost over. So we are not forgotten, and we will no longer be forgotten. Only Trump can save us at this point. God and Trump is the only two that can save us at this point, and that's just a fact, folks. But Trump has got a hell of a team to work with, so I think we got a great shot at actually fixing this country. Like General Flynn said earlier today on Benny Johnson, he said, I can fix this country in 30 days. I just got to fire a bunch of them right off the top. He said, it won't take us long to figure out who we need to get rid of. He said, and you go from there. I think that's an awesome idea. Now let's go ahead and watch this last video of the day, folks. I thought this was a good one. This is the last uh, commercial Trump puts out before Election Day. Just for the record.
Nothing worth doing ever came easy. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Never, ever quit. Never quit. Adversity makes you stronger. Don't give in, don't back down, and never stop doing what you know is right. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedoms. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way.
When they couldn't beat him, they tried to bankrupt him.
President Trump is back in a New York City courtroom.
When that didn't work, they tried to put him in federal prison.
Raided by the FBI.
When that didn't work, they even tried to kill him.
They just tried to kill President Trump.
Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to make America great again.
This is Donald Trump's house, brother.
This election, we all get to choose. I'm going to choose real American leadership and a real American badass. The 45th and soon to be 47th President Donald J. Trump.
Starting on day one, we will defeat inflation quickly and we will make America affordable again. I will cut your energy costs in half. It's time for the working man and woman to finally catch a break. We are going to bring back the American dream bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. When I'm back in the White House, we will restore world peace, and it will be again peace through strength. I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. And we'll put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. We all salute the same great American flag. Our best days are yet to come. Together, we will make America great again.
Ooh, that gives me chills. I love it, folks. We made it, folks. We are down to the wire. We got less than 20. We have 24 hours, and we'll be looking at poll results coming in from many states, folks. I love it. We made it this far. Gonna make it a few more days, maybe even a few more months to get rid of Kamala and Joe and the whole crime syndicate permanently, so we never have to see their faces again. With a real press secretary, hopefully Alex Jones, with real generals like General Flynn, with real attorney generals, people like Cash Patel. There's so many that will be a part of Trump's team, like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will help with the medicals, with making our country healthy again. Tulsi Gabbard, be a great fighter. I don't know what she's going to do in the cabinet, but the transition team is growing. It's going to be awesome, folks. I can't wait to see Elon Musk come in there on day one and ask everybody in the government, what do you do here? What's that pay? How many funds are allocated for that? How does that help the American people? Next, I can see it now, folks, one right after another. Elon going, okay, I can't find out why even this agency exists. And shuts it down. That's what I see coming, folks. Not only are we going to right the ship, we're going to get rid of the rats. I believe it. I believe it in my heart and my soul, and I believe God wants it that way. I think God wants us to wake up, come back to Him in such a way like we haven't in a long time. I'm talking about like a real revival, and not just a political revival, but a religious revival where our country grows closer to God because people start appreciating the good things in life again instead of fighting over the pettiness that took our country down this path. That's all I got for you today. Everybody have a great day. I'll be on Matt and Romeo's channel tomorrow, doing the live in the evening during the whole election process. I don't know what time I'll jump in, probably 6 or 7. But come check us out on American Patriot News tomorrow. Over and out, folks. Have a good one.